And once again, I say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Wrestler Report here on Fridays on LIV Radio, LIV TV, and on livinginblack.com. We call this Making Money Friday. And on Making Money Fridays, we deal with a broad spectrum of activities related to our development, our progressive development, and our money, our wealth. We deal with entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflicts, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date, Friday. It is the 19th day of September, the year 2022 in the Gregorian calendar. That's 2066 in the Kemetic calendar. Not 2066, it is 6266 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we've realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place here on LIV Radio, LIV TV, here on livinginblack.com. Here's what we have on the show for today. I hope you find this to be a fascinating program today. A very interesting topic, if you ask me. And let me read the intro, if you don't mind. Where are we at? Here we are. Fridays, what has happened to inflation? What has happened to our spending power? Fridays are focused on money matters on LIV Radio. Today, we engage in a fascinating topic. If we could create a time machine and go back to the year 2000, what would be the cost of living compared to 25 years later, 2025? Might this also give us an understanding of what it will be like in the year 2050 at current inflation rates? The US dollar has lost 47% of its value since 2000. 47%. And it has caused shocking increases in the average worker's cost of just being alive. So that is the subject for today. We're going to use our time machine. We're going to fast forward through time through the agency of AI. And reporting. We're going to report on various others who have done these calculations on the internet. And we're going to look at the cost of inflation and the cost of living then compared to the cost of living today. It's going to be a fascinating topic. Do join us. It's going to be absolutely interesting. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to go over here and just create a few links to where we are today. And let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Now, where are we at? We're up here, and I want to do this. Bear with me. I have to click on this other link, which allows us to look at what we're broadcasting at the same time as to look at what I'm talking about in real time. So here is today's workshop on LIV Radio. And I'm also going to be teaching a class. Actually, I'll be focusing on health, but this will be part of a larger class we will be teaching. We're going to announce that here coming up soon. So I'm going to skip the ads here, and we're going to go what this is in real time. Here we are. We are up, and we are running. So I think we are. Inflation. Let's take a look at how inflation has changed over time. Now, it's not consistent. The dollar has lost 47% of its spending value, but it's not consistent across all areas. When it comes to housing versus the cost of household electronics, there's a huge gap in that, and we do need to expose that gap. So let's just take this systematically. I asked the question of AI. What was the original question I asked? Can I find it? The original question was, speaking on price inflation, compare prices from this time in, here it is, compare prices from this time in the year 2000 with certain categories in the year 2025. And so here's what we came up with. $100 in the year 2000 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $188.14 today. So what we bought with $100 in 2000, we now spend $188.14 for today, an increase of $88.14 over 5 years. The dollar had an average inflation rate of 2.56 per year between 2000 and today, producing a cumulative price increase of 88.14%. This means that today's prices are 1.88 times higher, or as high, 1.88 times as high as average prices since 2000. This is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A dollar today only buys 53.152% of what it could buy back then, meaning it lost 47% of its value. The inflation rate in 2000 was 3.36%. The current inflation rate compared to the end of last year is now 2.92%. If this number holds, $100 today will be equivalent in buying power to $102.92 next year. Speaking on price inflation, compare prices from this time in the year 2000 to prices today. And we looked at certain common categories, and I expanded the categories as I found time to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the research for today. Gasoline, median cost of single family home, median cost of rent, the price of a new sedan, etc. Here's what AI came up with. In the year 2000, the cost of gasoline per gallon, $1.51. Today, the average cost of gas in the United States, $3.29. That shows you an increase in price of 118%. The median single family home, this is where it really gets crazy. In the year 2000, the median cost of a single family home was $119,730. Today, that cost is $356,000, a 197% increase in housing. Median cost of rent in the year 2000 was $1,200. Today, in the United States, the median cost of rent is $1,650, an increase of mere 37.5%. Now, this also indicates the crises in housing that we see today, with the cost of housing going up so high, yet the cost of rent going up so low. It shows you how the concentration of wealth in real estate is really taking place. And I did a little bit more exploration in that. Let me see if I can find this other inquiry. It's not on Brave. It's on this other site that I have here. I wanted to go out and hash this out just a little bit more. We are talking about inflation updates. So here we are. The cost, median cost, uh, keep going. Yeah, it's going to explain the median single family home prices. The median price for a single home in 2000 was $119,000, $919,730. As of 2025, this has escalated to 356,000, marking a staggering 197% increase. This sharp rise in home prices has contributed to a growing affordability crisis, as wages have not kept pace with housing costs. We're going to talk about wages a little bit later, too. Median rent. In 2000, the median rent was approximately $1,200 per month. By 2025, it has increased to $1,650 per month, which is a 37.5% increase. While this increase is substantial, it is less dramatic compared to home prices, reflecting different dynamics in the rental market. So that's what that says. Let's go to the next category. The cost of buying a brand new sedan in the United States in 2000 was $22,000. Today it is $48,841%, reflecting a price increase of 121%. The cost of a dozen eggs, for those who eat eggs, in the year 2000, 93 cents. Today, the cost of eggs, $3.59 per dozen, reflecting a price increase in eggs of 285%. Now, I don't eat eggs, but recently I understand that because of the kind of, what do you call it? I would say because of hyperinflation on a short-term basis, the cost of eggs went up to over $6 or $7 a carton. I understand. I have not bought eggs since before 2000. So for those of you who say my prices are wrong, I'm not disputing you. Please help me out, and let's come to an understanding of what was the price of eggs when they spiked earlier this year. It's very, very important that we know that figure. Give me 1 second. I got to do this. A little confusing on my desktop today. So many different windows open. I'm going to open this one, go into my settings, and I need to say I have a green screen. There I did. There we go. So it took the little halo from around my bald head. Here we go. Let's keep going. We got through the price of eggs, the price of a new sedan, we got that in, a dozen eggs, a loaf of whole grain bread. At that time, 2000, $1.58. The cost of a loaf of whole grain bread today, $3.50, reflecting a 121% price increase in a loaf of bread. For those of you who consume moo juice, cow juice, calf food, in 2000, a gallon of milk was $2.78. Today, a gallon of milk is $4.52, reflecting a price increase of 62%. And that doesn't seem right. Here, let me go over here. I've got it here in further research. Cost of milk. Gallon of milk costs around $2.78. By 2025, the price had risen to $4.50, marking a 62% increase. So I guess that is right. Factors contributing to this include dairy farming costs and inflation. The cost to feed a family of 4 in the year 2000 was considered about $500 per month. To me, that's really high, but that's for a lot of processed food, junk food, meat, and dairy, eggs, milk, all those things that I do not eat. But the cost at that time was $500 a month. In the year 2025, it is $970 a month, a 94% increase in the cost of food. Wow, $970 a month. That's a lot of food. I could feed 10 people for that. I'm serious. Average electric bill in the year 2000 was $75. Today, in the year 2025, that average electric bill, $136.84, reflecting an 82% increase in the cost of electricity. If we look at the cost of water in 2000, $30 to have your water for your home. Today, the average cost of water for the home, $78, which is 160% average price increase. 160%. Lawn maintenance in the year 2000 was considered to be $100. That's a lot. Today, the cost of maintaining one's lawn, $300. Quite a bit. That's an incredible price. That is 200% increase in lawn service. For a fast food meal, burger, fries, and soda, in the year 2000, that fast food meal cost you $5. Today, it is $10. 25 years later, reflecting a 100% price increase. For mobile phone, basic service, or basic model of a mobile phone in the year 2000 was actually $150 to buy a mobile home. Today, the average cost of a mobile phone is $800, reflecting an increase of 433% increase. Wow. Monthly service for that mobile phone at that time, the year 2000, was $40 per month. Today, it's $70 per month, a 75% increase. Now, I will admit that my cost of maintaining my monthly phone service has dropped from $75 or so in the year 2000. Mine is now $20. So, different people are able to negotiate different deals. Looking at the cost of household appliances, a refrigerator in the year 2000 cost on average $800. In the year 2025, the cost of a refrigerator, $1,500, reflecting an 88% price increase in 25 years. Looking at a washer and dryer set, in the year 2000, cost $800. Today, it's $1,500, reflecting again an 88% increase in price. And the average cost of furniture, different pieces of furniture inside your home. In the year 2000, what $1,000 would buy in furniture is today at $1,500, reflecting 50% increase over the course of the 25 years. And again, we have to realize that today, much of the furniture we have in our homes is manufactured in low-wage countries. So that's why it only reflects a 50% increase in price for the cost of furniture, while at the same time, I must say, the cost of the manufacturing of mobile phone devices is largely overseas. But the cost of a mobile phone from average then, today, 25 years later, has gone up 433%. So you and I, we're being charged double and triple and quadruple in the exchange of labor for goods in foreign countries versus the cost of buying these prestige dialogues, these high value items, consumer items from those same countries manufacturing furniture. So there's a lot of profit making skimming off the top. Anybody in the house today? Is anybody out here talking to me? I'd love to hear from you. If you are in the house, drop me a note. We are not drop me a note. Give us a shout in the chat box. I'm right now looking at the StreamYard studio, and it tells me who is up on YouTube. And right now, I have no one, not a person, talking to us on YouTube. We're going to do the best we can to do even better. But if nobody's talking to me on YouTube, it is what it is. And it's going to be what it's going to be. So one more time, I'm double checking over here. Is anyone with us on? That's not. What is going on here? I've got Windows open. Here, let's try this one. Here it is. Okay, so no one is talking to me at all on the Rumble page. So I'm going to go straight through this. And then it's Friday, so I'm going to start moving on. I'm actually making food for a client. So I'll probably just go in the kitchen right now and help this client keep the cost of healthcare expenses to an absolute minimum. She's actually coming out of extraordinarily high healthcare expenses. That's why she came to me. She says, "Hey, Keely, I cannot handle this healthcare inflation." And you're going to find out why she came to that conclusion and decided to let food take over the cost of her healthcare. So, and it turned out to be really quite a bargain. It's turning out to be quite a bargain. I'm going to go forward. We're still reading from what was the cost of living then compared to the cost of living today. Wages, occupational service, average wage in the year 2000 versus the average wage in the year 2025, and the percentage increase include for a white collar worker, average salary was $32,154 per year in 2000. For 2025, the average white collar worker, $62,000, reflecting a 93% increase. For a plumber, in the year 2000, their average wage was $40,000. Today it is $63,215, reflecting a mere 58% increase, although that 58% increase is still higher. The average wage on an annual basis for a plumber is higher than a white collar worker. For a carpenter in the year 2000, $40,000. In the year 2025, $59,310, a 48% wage increase. For the average office worker clerical, in the year 2000, $30,000 a year. Today it's $45,000 a year, reflecting a 50% increase. For government employee in the year 2000, average salary $50,000. Today it is $97,456, reflecting a 95% increase. An average nurse, the year 2000, $50,000 salary. In the year 2025, $93,600, reflecting an 88% increase in wages. For the dentist, $130,000 in the year 2000. Today, it's $179,210, reflecting 38% price wage increases. For an average doctor in the year 2000, the average salary per year, $150,000. Today, the average doctor is bringing in $374,000, reflecting a 149% wage increase. The average cost of a hospital stay, here, let me get this here. We are at a average cost of a hospital stay. Average cost of a hospital stay was approximately $2,500 in 2000. By 2025, the cost had skyrocketed to $20,920, reflecting a 736% increase. This dramatic rise in healthcare is indicative of healthcare inflation and rising operational costs in the hospital. So that is pretty outrageous, isn't it? Let me post that in. And going forward, the price of general household consumables has experienced varied changes since the year 2000, with some categories seeing significant declines while others have risen substantially. Consumer goods, particularly those that were easily outsourced, have generally become cheaper over the past 2 decades. For example, the price of a flat screen television has dropped dramatically. In 2000, a new cost was about 17% of the median income, whereas today it costs less than 1% of the median income. Similarly, cellular services and software have become more affordable, and toys have seen price decreases due to overseas manufacturing and shifting entertainment options. However, other essential household categories have seen significant price increases. The cost of healthcare has risen sharply, with medical care prices increasing by 2.3% over the past year alone, and averaging 4.9% increase since 1935. Education-related expenses have also surged, with college tuition increasing by 178% since 2000, and college textbooks rising by 162%. Housing costs have been a major factor, with housing prices increasing by 3.17% in the past year, averaging 4.25% since 1967. Inflation for food and beverages has averaged 3.97% annual inflation since 1967, with a 2.26 increase over the past year. The divergence in food prices between home and takeaway from home has also been notable, with food away from home prices rising consistently since 2009, while food at home prices were deflated in 2016 and 2017. So eating out, more people are eating out or takeaways and all of this, and you are paying the price, while those of us, like myself, I only eat at home, and I prepare all of my food mainly from scratch. I don't consume processed foods. So my cost of inflation for food has been kept fairly in check, although the cost of the ingredients, the natural ingredients that I make them from, has definitely been inflated quite a bit especially 2023. Inflation for food and beverages have averaged 3.97% since 1967, with a 2.26 increase over the past year. The divergence in food prices between home and takeaway from home has also been notable, and I did read that already. Overall, while some household consumables like electronics and software have become significantly cheaper, essential services such as healthcare, education, housing, and food have seen substantial price increases since 2000. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, tracks these changes, reflecting the average change in prices paid by urban consumers for a basket of goods and services. The current annual inflation rate is as of the trailing 12 months ending in August 2025 is 2.7%. And that is, again, the current average inflation rate. So 2.70%. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Let's go to, I want to break these down a little bit further. We're talking about medical care price in 2013 dollars. Medical care price at $9,438 in the year 2000 cost the average person $920.31 in 2025. And so that gives you a indication, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, prices for medical care are 121.66% higher in 2025 versus 2000, a difference of $11,482.31. Now, to me, that's outrageous. I would rather spend $11,482.31. That's about a little less than $1,000 a month. I'd rather spend that to stay away from the medical system. I have not been to the doctor. I've not been in that system in the last year. I am using herbal supplements that might cost me $40 to $60 a month. I am using other natural therapies, such as just this week, I took on a campaign to get rid of moles and skin tags. You can see little spots on my face. Those come as we get older, and these senescent cells reproduce themselves in a mutated state. They're not cancerous in most cases. Skin tags are completely benign, but they're unsightly. And I don't want to look like Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is a handsome man. He is a fantastic actor. But I don't want skin tags all over my face and warts or moles all over my face, etc. So I want clear skin. One last. Hey, I'm not taking nothing away from Morgan Freeman. I can't take away anything from Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is a giant. But I do notice that Morgan Freeman is plagued by these skin tags that I choose to not have them. Between 2000 and 2025, medical care experienced an average inflation rate of 3.24% per year. This rate of inflation indicates significant inflation. In other words, medical care costing $9,438 in the year 2000 would cost $20,920.31 in 2025 for an equivalent purchase, compared to overall inflation rate of 2.52% during the same period. Inflation for medical care was significantly higher. In the year 2000, pricing changed by 4.06%, which is above the average yearly change for medical care during the 2000 to 2025 time period. Compared to inflation for all items in 2000, 3.38%, inflation for medical care was higher. And medical care has gone up quite a bit. The main peak of it was between the years 1974 and up to about 1992. There was a big bulge in the cost of medical care. And then, of course, the pandemic years kind of throw everything off. The buying power of $9,438 since 2000. Oh, it shows you year by year change, and that's in, of course, the cost of inflation. Raw consumer price index data from U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics for 1935, what bought 10.200, and I don't even know what I'm looking at, so I'm not even going to cite that. But it is the cost. We're looking at the cost of medical expenses. I'm going to go through one more of these categories here, and that is, what is the average cost, average salary for federal employees? What is the average salary of a federal employee in 2025? A complete guide. This is not necessarily going to give me what I want, because I'm looking at inflation. I don't want to know how much they work, how much they are being paid. I want to know what was the cost of inflation, because inflation hurts us all. It hurts everyone, except for, obviously, the mega rich. So on that note, I think we've done a good job. I hope we've done a good job for what we are attempting to do today. We're attempting to compare prices between different topics or different categories in the year 2000 to what people are paying for stuff today. Personally, I think that all of us could, would, and should make an attempt to cut our overall expenses. And if we can cut our expenses, where's my chat room? Here we are. I'm going to put up a link to the document I was just reading on medical care expenses. And I'm going to also post this up here at the end, and post it also on the Facebook page. And then, since I didn't get any response from no one today, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and start my weekend early. I want to thank you all. Okay. And let me just go forward. We are coming at you live and direct here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livingonblack.com. Today, we focused on medical and food, housing, all appliances, furniture, all areas of where we are spending our power, our money. And we're asking really the fundamental question, what is happening to our spending power? As we can get an answer to that, I hope it will motivate more of us to save money. Now, the baby boomers, That's my generation. We're going to have to save money because, quite simply, we're being chased out. The Gen X, Gen Z, and the millennials, they're not dealing with the same problems that we are dealing with insofar as inflation. So that's that. I'm just talking at this particular point, hoping that somebody will at least hit the like button. One other person other than myself did hit that like button on Rumble. I do think you have a higher opinion of what we're talking about than what you expressed today. I do believe that. But if people aren't responding, they're just not responding. And so on that note, I want to thank you for being with us today on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and LivingInBlack.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends about us, that we have our own now. And we're very proud of what we have, what we do with what we have. And hopefully we will continue to do the best we can with what we have on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and on LivingInBlack.com. So, hey, on that note, we are out of here. And tell your friends to tell their friends to tell even more people. Come on over to our place. We're going to have a great time on your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are LivingInBlack.com. Peace to each and every one of you.
Sorry.